Hello and welcome back to another week of Sambo iRacing. We are back in the Porsche Cup, the 992.2 at Autodromo Hermanos Rodríguez in Mexico City. And I am recording this a couple of weeks ahead of time, so apologies if it has now been renamed America City. Anyway, if you're going to run this in the open setup version of the series and you want to race the exact setup being driven in this guide, you can go to our website, sambosetups.com, or our Patreon page. There are links to both in the description. Any questions, let me know in the comments, but please note the incredibly hot track temps are already showing on the overlays, and I'll be back in about 2 minutes after the hot lap with the breakdown. Okay, here we are on the breakdown lap. Now, after Monza combined, Mexico City is the second most annoying place to do track guides on, because you can drive for 30 seconds only to cock up into turn one, and then you're doing it all over again. So our first braking marker is going to be midway between the 7 and the 6. If you actually look on the wall on the left-hand side, you can see where the white or lighter Hermanos Rodríguez logo start. That's going to be our braking marker, especially when we have track temps of 52 Celsius. It's about 125 Fahrenheit. We don't want to be braking too late and too heavy and overdriving the car and basically burning the tyres up. So we brake lighter and earlier, but we maintain a constant apex speed and a higher apex speed, and one that we can consistently hit. Anyway, so this is where we start braking, exactly here, and we're going to brake up to around 50-55%. We're going to hold that there all the way down past that 2 marker on the left-hand side. We're going to drop it down to second gear, trail it off, and then we're going to start picking back up on the gas at the apex, making sure that we are cutting that corner with our right-hand tyres up over the step. We don't quite reach 100% before we're then back on the brakes, not overly hard, only up to about 10-15%, and again trailing that off and really cutting this corner, as you can see here. So getting our left-hand tyres to the left edge of the yellow no-cut curb, the right-hand tyres just remaining on the track, and we gently increase. So when we're at this third apex here of this little chicane, we're already back at sort of 75-80%. We then go up to 100%, exit nice and wide, up through the gears as we go down this short-ish straight. Braking marker for the next corner is nice and easy. So it is the start of the curbs here on the right-hand side. This is what we're looking for. As we get there, we get on the brakes again, holding it around 50% all the way through until the just before the start of the grass. We've actually got a little entrance road on the right-hand side that's barriered off. That is going to be our turn-in marker. And again, leaving it in second, pick back up on the gas at the apex here of turn, where are we at? Turn 4. We don't reach 100%, but we do get over to the left-hand side, and then we're lightly on the brakes to about 15%, and then we're going to trail that off to the apex of turn 5 before getting back up on the gas. Now for turn 6, this mini hairpin, we're going to be braking about 4 car lengths before the end of this rumble strip. It's actually 8 red chevrons before the end, but there's nothing specific there that actually, you know, shows you or gives you a proper thing to look for. So I'll show you what it looks like when we start braking it exactly here. I was able to pause that on the exact right moment because I've been driving this quite a lot, so I know what it looks like in my screen, but just try and memorize what it looks like. This is where we get on the brakes, only up to about 35%, and now we're going to trail it off down to the second apex before getting back on the gas. So we're just trailing off as we go through the first. We get back up to 100% once we get to the exit. We're going to head over to the right-hand side. Now, for turn 7, what we're looking for on the right-hand side is this porta potty coming up. We're going to get on the brakes about a heartbeat after we've driven through it at full speed. So we go past it. It's just disappeared out of sight, and now we are looking to get back on the brakes. And again, we brake up to about 40%, relatively sharp and quick, and then we're going to trail off, leaving it in third gear, pick back up on the gas at the apex here of turn 7. We're going to get on the gas. We're going to take a huge amount of curb for turn 8, so we're keeping our left-hand tyres just on the white line, keeping within the track limits. We go flat through there, and then as we move to sort of 2/3 the way across for turn 9, we're going to come off the gas, slightly on the brakes up to about 15%, trail that off, and then pick back up on the gas at the apex once we're back over the right-hand side of this curb. We get briefly up to 100%. Now we're looking for the end of the Mexico City writing on the left-hand side. I generally use this orange end here, which suggests that's where the marshals can come out from. Once we get close to that, I get on the brakes, or we get on the brakes to about 20-25%, it's Gianni in this case. Trail it off, and then we start picking back up ahead of the apex of turn 10 in third gear. We get up to 100%, and then again, as we go through turn 11 here, we're taking a huge amount of curb. Left-hand side of the car, completely over the left-hand side of the curb. Right-hand tyres just hanging onto the white line. It's not cheating, it's just the line that you take. Perfectly legal, everyone does it. Now for the next braking marker for turn 12, if you look where that marshal is on the left-hand side, and there's a little entrance road that cars can drive from, we're going to start braking at the end of that entrance road. I'm just getting a little bit closer so you can see. So right where the start of the Mexico City is on the left-hand side, that is where we're going to start braking. So as you can see, we're now alongside it. And again, we're going to brake to about 50-55%. Gianni brakes a little bit less. We trail it off down to third, pick back up on the gas at the apex of turn 12. Exit nice and wide. Again, this is staying without going outside the track limits. As we get to halfway back across the track for turn 13, we're going to get on the brakes up to about 40%, aiming initially at the outside of the corner, drop it down to first, trail it back off, and we start picking back up on the gas at the apex of 13. We get briefly up to 100% before we lift for turn 14. Again, the right-hand side of our car over the curb. And then this is the line we want to take for turn 16. So we're going to go to the left-hand side of this curb. We're going to absolutely floor it as we go through there. And then as soon as this wall sort of gets closer, you can see the way it bends using the shadow here. As soon as we get alongside the end of that bend, this is when we're going to get on the brakes, only up to about 35%, drop it down to second, trail it off, and now we're just going to gradually pick back up on the gas. Very slippy track in these track conditions with the track temp. And over and across the line we go in a 42 flat. We've got one final version coming up next with the driving line on, and without me talking, enjoy.